Hello students, welcome back to all of you again in social science class. I am Rakesh Kumar, your social science teacher. So students, let's start our next part of this chapter drainage geography part 3. In previous lecture we discussed about the major river systems of Himalayas, or we discussed about the Himalayan river systems, Indus, Ganga or Brahmaputra. So today I am going to start the peninsular rivers, the important peninsular rivers. So dear students, first of all, the important river, that is Narmada. Actually, in all these peninsular rivers, we mainly divide these peninsular river also in two categories. Which two category? First, the river, those who drop their water in Arabian Sea, and second, the rivers, those who drop their water in Bay of Bengal. So first of all, the westward flowing rivers, and we know these are the rivers that never makes any delta, they form the estuary. So first of all, the Narmada river. So Narmada, it rises from the Amarkantak plateau. Here this region lies in the Madhya Pradesh, and it is known as the Amarkantak plateau. It rises from the Amarkantak plateau or hills, and then flow in a rift valley. Now this is a new term. In second chapter, when we discussed about the formation of different boundaries, or we discussed about the plate tectonic process. So when these plate moves, some due to these internal movement of the plates, some shifting or some changes occurs over the surface. What happens? For example, this is the surface, and due to the plate tectonic movement, whenever any earthquake comes, so what happens? Some part of the land, it move upward side, and some part moves downward side. सम पार्ट सिंक्स डाउन साइड. कुछ पार्ट जो है ऊपर अपलिफ्ट कर जाता है और कुछ पार्ट नीचे की तरफ शिफ्ट कर जाता है. और इस तरह से ये जो इन प्लेट्स के अंदर चेंजेस आता है और बीच में ये जो एक डिप्रेशन डेवलप होता है, दैट इज नोन एज द रिफ्ट वैली. एंड वी नो Narmada is flowing in a rift valley because its northern side Vindhyachal Parvat range, and in southern side there is a Satpura range. Okay, so due to the plate tectonic movement, when any sudden change comes over the surface, some part moves upward side and some part goes down side. यानी कि कुछ पार्ट अपलिफ्ट होता है और कुछ पार्ट सिंक होता है, डाउन साइड मूव करता है. तो जो बीच में जो वैली क्रिएट होती है, डिप्रेशन दैट क्रिएट्स, दैट इज नोन एज द रिफ्ट वैली. एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ अपलिफ्टेड पार्ट दे नोन एज द ब्लॉक माउंटेन्स. दैट इज नॉट इन गिवन इन योर बुक, बट आई एम डिस्कसिंग दिस, so it is important for you, for your basic knowledge, for your GK. So these kind of hills known as the block mountains or the block hills, and this kind of valley that develops between the two block mountains, that is known as the rift valley. So the Narmada flow in a rift valley. Next, it makes some picturesque location. Picturesque location means there are some टूरिस्ट स्पॉट्स जहाँ पे लोग उस स्पोर्ट को देखने के लिए या फिर ऐसे बहुत ब्यूटीफुल लोकेशंस हैं जिनको देखने के लिए लोग दूर दूर से जाते हैं. एग्जाम्पल, नियर जबलपुर, व्हेन नर्मदा रिवर फ्लो थ्रू मार्बल रॉक्स हैं, हिल्स हैं, तो वहाँ से जब ये नर्मदा रिवर फ्लो करती है तो वो एक बहुत गहरा गॉर्ज क्रिएट करती है. आई टोल्ड यू द डिफरेंस बिटवीन वी शेप वैली, gorge and a canyon. So a very deep valley it forms near the Jabalpur in marble rocks. So that is a picturesque location, that is very important location for the tourists. And one another thing here near the Jabalpur, when it moves over the hard rocks, so I told you in previous lecture also, river makes waterfall also when it flow in the hilly areas, and suddenly when soft rocks eroded by the water and the river plunges over the hard rock. रिवर जो है वो हार्ड रॉक्स के ऊपर से मूव करती है और नीचे गिरती है, देन इट फॉर्म्स ए वाटरफॉल. सो नियर जबलपुर इट फॉर्म्स a waterfall also. So these are the picturesque location that formed by the Narmada river in its course. Again it falls, that particular waterfall is known as the Dhauladhar. That waterfall made by Narmada river, that is known as Dhuadhar fall. Dhuadhar means एक स्टीम टाइप, यानी कि जो बिल्कुल माइन्यूट लेवल जो वाटर वेपर है दैट रिमेन्स इन ऑल राउंड द साइड ऑफ द वाटरफॉल, एक हल्का सा एक मिस्ट, एक धुंध की फॉर्म में वो रहता है वाटर वेपर, इसलिए इसको धुआंधार वाटरफॉल कहा जाता है. सो इट्स ट्रिब्यूटरीज, no major long tributaries of the Narmada river, actually very small tributaries that comes from the Vindhyachal range, they comes southward side, and from the Satpura range side, so many small rivers, small tributaries, they merge in the Narmada river with their right angle and they form the trellis pattern. Okay student, and then it falls into the Arabian Sea and it forms the estuary. Estuary, I told you earlier, when river never deposits its sediment, directly it merges into the sea or ocean without depositing its sediments, then it forms the estuary. Both the rivers on the western coast, they never forms the delta, they forms estuary. Okay, so its total length is that is 1312 kilometer. Okay students, so one another interesting feature, man-made feature that is located over the Narmada river, that is Sardar Sarovar project. अभी सरदार सरोवर की एक सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल की एक बहुत बड़ी जो एक मूर्ति बनाई गई है गुजरात में. और इसके साथ साथ जो एक सरदार सरोवर जो प्रोजेक्ट के नाम से भी हमें पता है कि बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है, मल्टीपर्पज़ प्रोजेक्ट है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, फिशिंग, नेविगेशन, और इसके साथ साथ जो इरिगेशन के लिए जो वहाँ से कैनाल्स निकाले गए हैं, वो प्रोजेक्ट भी इसी नर्मदा रिवर के ऊपर ही लोकेटेड है. ओके डियर स्टूडेंट, सो नेक्स्ट second important river, that is Tapi. It is also known as Tapti. So it is known by the both names Tapi and Tapti. So it rises from the Satpura range. Here this is the Satpura range, and it rises from the Betul district. Satpura range and the Betul district in MP, that is also that also lies in Madhya Pradesh. So it also flow in a rift valley and it also forms estuary on its mouth, and its total length is 724 kilometer. Some tributaries, those who rises from the Satpura range, they also merge in Tapi river at their right 90-degree angle, right angle. So it also forms the trellis drainage pattern. Okay, the next river that falls their water in the Bay of Bengal. So these are the important rivers that falls their water in the drop their water in the Arabian Sea. But not only these, even साबरमती, आपने एक गाना सुना होगा, साबरमती के लाल तूने कर दिया कमाल, that is regarding the Mahatma Gandhi. So that also lies in the Gujarat, that also drop their water in the Arabian Sea. Even one important river, the question regarding that river is asked in so many exams. The question is, which Indian river twicely crossed the Tropic of Cancer? We know the Tropic of Cancer line, Tropic of Cancer passes through here, and which important river of India that crossed twicely this Tropic of Cancer line? Actually there is a river that is known as Mahi. The answer is Mahi river. It's some part smoothly just move northward above this Tropic of Cancer, and then again it's take U-turn and comes southward direction. So this is very important, dear students. So it is very important from your GK point of view. In so many competitive exams this question asked by the authorities. So which Indian river crosses the Tropic of Cancer twicely? So the answer is Mahi river. Okay, then next we are discussing about the river that drop their water into the Bay of Bengal. First is Mahanadi. The third important river of peninsular India is Mahanadi. Actually it also rises near in the southeast of the Amarkantak plateau. Okay, but the location is highlands of Chhattisgarh. It rises from the highlands of Chhattisgarh. And which particular, you can note down, Sihawa, Sihawa, Sihawa in Raipur district. That is not given in your book, so you can note down this, the particular place from where it rises, Sihawa in Raipur district in Chhattisgarh. So it is this is the location from where the Mahanadi river rise. Its total length is 851 kilometer, but in some books it is given 860 kilometer also. So you can learn the both. In your book I think it is given 851, but in some books in senior standard, in plus 1 plus 2, in NCERT book it is given 860 kilometer. Okay dear student, so you can learn the both are correct. And the basin its basin lies in which states? You can see here which states lies here: Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and even some part of Maharashtra, and the maximum part lies in MP and Chhattisgarh. Both collectively in MP and Chhattisgarh 57% of its basin lies, and Odisha is covering nearly 47% of its basin. So the Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Odisha, these four states comes under its basin. Next important river is Godavari. Godavari is very important. So many questions asked from the Godavari also in competitive exams. Actually it is known as the Dakshin Ganga. Dear students, can you tell me why it is known as the Dakshin Ganga? The simple reason is, as we know, the India's longest river is Ganga. Ganga is the longest river, and it covers, or it is covering a very large drainage basin in the northern part. So in the southern part, in the peninsular rivers, this is the only river, the Godavari river, you can see so many long tributaries, very large rivers, they are merging into the Godavari river. So the Godavari river has a very largest drainage basin in the peninsular part, that's why it is known as the Dakshin Ganga. So it is also known as the Dakshin Ganga. And it rises here near the Western Ghats. It rises from the Western Ghats, eastern side of Western Ghats. The particular place is Nasik district in Maharashtra. It rises from the Nasik, near the Nasik district of Maharashtra. That's why we can see here Manjira, Penganga, Venganga, these tributaries, they are also lies in the Maharashtra state. So it's nearly 50% drainage basin lies in the Maharashtra state. And MP in Madhya Pradesh 20% drainage basin comes, and some part of it also lies in Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And here it drops its water. This is the Godavari Delta. Dear students, all these rivers, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, all these major rivers of peninsular India, they forms delta on their mouth. They deposit sediments on a large quantity. Okay, and it is the largest peninsular river. And some important tributaries are, you can note down, some important tributaries are Purna, Vardha, Prahita, Manjara. In some books it is written Manjira also. Venganga. In some books you will find the Venganga starts from V. In Hindi or in English, alphabets vary in Indian names, so you can start it from V also and from W also. So VAIN Venganga is also correct, and WAIN GANGA Venganga is also correct. So Penganga, Prahita and Indravati, etc. Actually there are other many rivers, very small tributaries, those who are also tribute their water into the Godavari river. Okay students, so actually here where it forms its delta, it is very important. It's some channels of Godavari delta, they are used for the inland navigation. It's some stretch of Godavari river, it is used for the inland navigation. Means जो हमारे पास छोटे ships हैं या जो हल्के ships होते हैं, जो boats हैं, उनको हम easily navigate कर सकते हैं इस delta part में. And some canals are connecting both these two deltas, and this area is used for the inland navigation. And we can say an inland navigation net lies here between these two deltas, between the Godavari delta and between the Krishna river delta. So it is covering the largest basin area in the peninsular India. Next important river is Krishna. Dear student, Krishna, you can see here, it also starts, it rises from the spring near Mahabaleshwar. Now there is a term, it is a geographical term, spring. Normally we say it is like a pond, ek talab. but that is not the complete definition of spring. Actually, what happens, you can see the example of springs in Haryana, in Pinjore, the northernmost district of Haryana, that is Panchkula. So if you visit there, so in Pinjore, particular the city Pinjore, where Yadvendra garden, or that is known as the Pinjore garden, that is located. So there are some bavdis. In local term it is known as bavdi. Actually, what happens there, in the upper hilly areas, जब हिली एरियाज़ में रेनफॉल होती है तो पानी क्या है, रॉक्स के अंदर धीरे धीरे वो नीचे जाता है. रॉक्स एब्जॉर्ब दिस रेन वाटर एंड व्हाट हैपन्स, जब कहीं पर इन हिली एरियाज़ में एक डिप्रेशन क्रिएट होता है, व्हेन अ डिप्रेशन डेवलप्स ऑन द स्लोप, सो दिस वाटर ड्यू टू द प्रेशर, ऊपर से पानी का प्रेशर आ रहा है, नीचे भी ग्राउंड वाटर है आपका, नीचे भी पानी है. सो ये पानी क्या करता है, ये धीरे धीरे एक इस तालाब लाइक जो फीचर है, दैट इज़ नोन एज स्प्रिंग, यहाँ पर ये पानी इकट्ठा हो जाता है. सो द कृष्णा रिवर राइजेज फ्रॉम अ स्प्रिंग नियर द महाबलेश्वर, दैट इज़ लोकेटेड इन द वेस्टर्न घाट्स, नियर द वेस्टर्न घाट्स. सो this is about the spring and the rising point of Krishna river. Again, it is the second largest peninsular river. We can say it is second largest peninsular river after Godavari. So it rises here near the Mahabaleshwar, that is a particular area that is known as the Sahyadri mountains. We know the Sahyadri mountains is the second name of Western Ghats, in particular Maharashtra state. So its tributaries Tungabhadra, कोयना, घाट प्रभा, मूसी, etc. So other small rivers are also there, those who merge into the Krishna river. So these are the some important tributaries of Krishna river: Tungabhadra, Koyna, Ghat Prabha, Musi. Okay dear students, you can see here, and even you can check this on atlas also, in your atlas also. So you must see all these rivers in your atlas book. If you have atlas book, or even if you don't have atlas book, so you can search on the net. So on Google map you can easily find all these tributaries, those who are making this Krishna river system. Okay dear student, so its total length is 1400 kilometer. So its length is 1400 kilometer. Then next river that comes, that is the southernmost important river of the peninsular India, that is the Kaveri river. Actually it is not the southernmost, but we can say it is the important southernmost southern river, that is Kaveri. Kaveri river. So Kaveri, that is the southernmost river. It also rises from the eastern side of the Western Ghats. The particular location is, it rises from, the location is Brahmagiri. Range, or we can say the Brahmagiri hills of Western Ghats. So that is the location from where Kaveri river rise, and the particular name of the place is Kogadu. Kogadu district in Karnataka. The particular place lies here in the Karnataka state from where it rises, that comes under the Kogadu district. So it is also important river that forms the delta here. So dear students, so these are the important rivers that is given in your book. And then not only the rivers, some important lakes are also given. Before starting the lakes, as we started the Indian drainage system, Indian rivers, we classify them in different categories. So we also categorize the lakes also. So we can classify the lakes on different bases. We can say on the basis of their water, the quality of water. We can classify the lakes also on the basis of water, or we can say the quality of water, freshwater lakes or saltwater lakes. Some lakes having the brackish water, for example, like the Pulicat Lake, Vembanad Lake, Chilka Lake, Sambar Lake. These lakes having the salt water, and freshwater lakes, Koleru Lake, Dal Lake, Govind Sagar. So these lakes having the fresh water. Or we also can classify the lakes on the basis of availability of water. The same, some are seasonal and some are perennial. Lakes, those who got their water only during the rainy season, they known as the seasonal lakes, and the lakes, those who got their water from the rivers, those whose origin is from the glaciers. So those lakes means the water remains throughout the year, they known as the perennial lakes. Then again we can classify on the basis of the formation. Some lakes are formed by the natural, we can say, due to the plate tectonic process or due to the movement in the earth, change in the earth surface, and some are the man-made, like Govind Sagar. Govind Sagar, that is a man-made lake over the Satluj river, where the Bhakra Nangal project is located, and even the Bhojtal near the Bhopal city, that is also the man-made lake. And natural lake, we can see all these are the natural lakes, Sambar Lake, Pulicat Lake, Vembanad Lake. So these are the natural lakes, they are formed by the nature. Then again we can classify on the basis of the location. You can see here some lakes are located on the coastline. So some are the coastal lakes and some are the inland lakes. Actually this classification is not given in your book, but I am telling for your basic information, for your basic knowledge. So the coastal lakes, those who are located on the coastline, okay, and some inland lakes, those who are located inside the land, Sambar Lake, Dal Lake, okay. So these are the inland lakes. Now some important lakes of India. For example, first of all, the Dal Lake, that is located in Jammu Kashmir. Dal Lake, that is known for its as a tourist, for its picturesque location, or it is also a very good spot for the tourists. Tourists from international, from the foreign countries, they come here. Actually, you have listened about this Dal Lake. During the winter season, the Kashmiri people or the Kashmiri boys, they play the cricket over it. Its upper surface frozen during the winter season. So It is also important, it is also known for its शिकारा boats. शिकारा means the housing boats. आपने बहुत सारी मूवीज़ में या फिर वीडियो क्लिप्स में शिकारा बोट्स देखी होंगी, जो एक छोटी सी हट बोट के ऊपर बनी होती है. एंड देन सेकंड सांबर लेक. सांबर लेक, इट इज़ वी कैन से अ सीजनल लेक. पानी रहता है बट ड्यूरिंग द समर सीजन द मैक्सिमम वाटर गेट्स इवेपोरेट and then the local people they extract the salt from the sambar lake. Okay, so the local people they also extract the salt, the common salt from the sambar lake. So another important lake of India, that is the Vembanad lake, that is located on the western coast, in particular Kerala coastline. Vembanad lake, it is also known as the backwater Kayal. Backwater, but in Kerala it is in Malayalam language, it is particular known as the Kayal. K-A-Y-A-L. Kayal means backwater. What happens here? Actually this is a chain of the lakes. The sea water enters through this channel of lakes inside the land. ये बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी लेक्स हैं जो आपस में एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड हैं. एंड कयाल मीन्स इट इज़ द प्लेस दैट इज़ फेमस फॉर फिशिंग, दैट इज़ ए फिशिंग स्पॉट, और एक फिशिंग हार्बर है. यहाँ पर मछली ज़्यादा पकड़ी जाती है और इसीलिए इसको जो पर्टिकुलर जो पीपल हैं, जो लोकल पीपल हैं, दे पर्टिकुलरली से इट एज ए कयाल. ओके, अनदर द कोलेरू. एज आई टोल्ड यू, the Koleru lake, you can see it is located between both the Godavari delta and the Krishna delta. Actually it is also connected by the canals between the Godavari and Krishna delta. It also provides the inland navigation facility. And here you can see the Chilka lake also. The Chilka lake is also work as a harbor. It is also known as the lagoon lake. Now this is the term, what is lagoon lake? So dear student, lagoon lake mostly formed on the coastline. You can see this. Actually a bar or a barrier lies over here. This is the sea water or the oceanic water. This is Chilka lake. Why it is known as the lagoon lake, or it is also known as lagoon lake? Why it is known as the lagoon lake? Actually the water is a bar, we can say a bar, a sand bar or a stone bar lies over here. Bar means एक छोटी सी दीवार. When high tide occurs, जब हाई टाइड आता है तो पानी क्या करता है? द वाटर फ्रॉम ओवर दिस बैरियर इट एंटर्स इनटू द लेक. बट व्हेन लो टाइड कम्स तो ये बैरियर क्या करता है? इट स्टॉप द वाटर, इट बैरिगेट्स द वाटर ऑफ दिस लेक. So due to this barrier it is known as the lagoon lake. And dear student, sometimes this barrier is formed by the sand, stones, and even sometimes it is formed by the corals also. So that time it is known as the coral barrier, the barrier reef. So if it is formed by the corals, then it is known as the coral reef. So these are the important lakes of India, and these were the some important characteristics of these lakes. So you have to mark all these lakes on your blank political map of India. Which one? Dal Lake, Sambar Lake, Koleru, Pulicat, Vembanad, Chilka Lake. Okay dear students, so these are the important lakes you have to mark on map. Now what is the importance of these lakes and rivers? Actually there is a topic given in your book. Lakes and rivers have very great importance in the economy of a country, in the development or in the maintenance of the economy of a country. What they provide? We know many multi-purpose projects are located over the rivers. जो मल्टीपर्पज़ प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उनसे होता क्या है? Why they are important? Actually, some multi-purpose projects are important for the development of the hydroelectricity. Some canals develop through that region. वहाँ से canals निकाली जाती हैं. Those who are very important for the irrigation purpose. Even the fishing is also done in the particular water reservoir area. जो lake वहाँ develop होती है. And even it can regulates the river water also. अब जो लेक्स होती हैं उनका बहुत बड़ा फ़ायदा होता है. What is the benefit? For example, if any lake is located here in Krishna river, एग्जाम्पल की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, दैट इज़ एन एग्जाम्पल, जस्ट एज्यूम इट. अगर फ्लड आता है, सो व्हाट हैपन्स? द फ्लड वाटर विल नॉट गो डायरेक्टली इनटू द डेल्टा रीजन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट विल फिल दिस डिप्रेशन एरिया. जो लेक का एरिया है पहले पानी वहाँ इकट्ठा होगा. सो जो स्ट्रीम वाटर जो फ्लो करता है, जो रिवर के अंदर वाटर फ्लो करता है, तो उसकी जो स्पीड है उसको एक तरह से बैरिगेट करती है लेक्स. सो इट हेल्प्स to reduce the flood in the lower parts of the river. But it has a demerit also. Some lakes are sometimes responsible for the low magnitude earthquakes. Actually, it changes the balance over the earth crust, over the lithospheric plates. जब बहुत बड़े एरिया में लेक्स डेवलप हो जाती हैं, बहुत बड़े लेवल पर पानी जो एक रिजर्वायर क्रिएट होता है, वो लो लेवल मैग्नीट्यूड अर्थक्वेक्स उस एरिया में डेवलप वो करता है, यानी कि उसका एक रीज़न बनता है. सो लेक्स आल्सो प्रोवाइड द इनलैंड नेविगेशन, रिवर्स आल्सो प्रोवाइड द इनलैंड नेविगेशन. वी नो टिल पटना द गंगा रिवर फ्रॉम हुगली, थ्रू हुगली रिवर द शिप्स कैन एंटर to the till Kolkata, and then they go for the Patna also. So rivers and lakes also provide the inland navigation, hydroelectricity, fishing, irrigation, and so many other purposes. So this is the importance of rivers and lakes. But dear students, this time there is a problem that we are creating for our nature. We know it very well, that is known as the pollution. We know all the types of the pollution. From our previous classes, from the 5th to 6th, we are studying about the pollution. So the garbage or even the contaminated water from the factories, when we release all these things, or even the hazardous material when we release over the surface or even in the river waters, so they pollute the river water. So actually we are the responsible person for the water pollution. So if we reduce the water pollution, it is not only the government responsibility to reduce the water pollution. First, it is the prime responsibility of the people. We are responsible for the water pollution, so we have to reduce this water pollution. So we know what are the measurements, what are the measures that we need to adopt for to reduce the water pollution. And even in our government also started some program. In 1985 they started Ganga Action Plan to reduce the pollution level in Ganga water, but they closed down this phase 1 or this particular program in 2000. But on the basis of this first phase, Ganga Action Plan, they learned so many things. They make new strategies. How can they how can they pollution free the other rivers of India? Then they 26 other rivers including under the 16 states और 26 रिवर्स को उन्होंने इंक्लूड किया गंगा के साथ साथ. एंड इवन बहुत सारे शहरों को उन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट किया फ्रॉम वेयर द इंडस्ट्रीज वर रिलीजिंग देयर pollution into the rivers, and even then they worked over it. So the particular thing that is also given in your book, you can see there. So this is this much about this topic and this chapter. So let's recall whatever we have discussed in this part today. We discussed about the peninsular rivers, Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. We also discussed about the some important lakes, Dal Lake, Sambar Lake, Vembanad Lake, Pulicat Lake, Koleru Lake, Chilka Lake, and we also discuss about the economic importance of lakes and rivers in a country's economy. So dear students, I think this is enough for you in this chapter. So if you feel any problem, if you have any query regarding this topic, regarding this chapter, so you can leave your message in the WhatsApp group. Okay students, so see you next. Till then, goodbye.